with the Prognos Zillow system is that it doesn't know that your home is half the size of any other home, and that it's and maybe you're the original owner, and maybe it hasn't been updated, but next door, they just built a new home that sold for $3 million. Does that mean that you're going to get $3 million for your house? No.
No, but my house is now assessed for a higher amount because of that, and if I want to agree that, where do I go for comps?
So you could always find a comp, okay? You always want to start, I always try to start within a half-mile radius of the home.
But that doesn't work today necessarily.
Ideally, I want to look for something in about a half a mile.
Yes.
Now, if I have a very special home that is either way inferior or way superior to my home, then I'm going to have to go further out. I might have to go back, rather than go back a year, I might have to go back 2 years.
Will they allow that?
Yes.
But they never used to. So now they're making that accommodation.
They need to be able to support their assessment. They cannot compare, I'm just going to make up your home, okay? Your home was built in 1950. It's a 1,000-square-foot ranch. And you live in a multi-million-dollar area. And all the homes that have sold are all selling $2, $3 million because they're brand new and they have big swimming pools and they're 5,000 square feet. You cannot compare a brand new 5,000 square foot home that just sold for $3 million to a home that was built in 1950 that is 1,000 square feet. You can't do it. You can't no appraiser can make any adjustments in the world. You can't do it. What you need to do is you need to go further back in time and go further out in radius, if you need to. But what you can't do, and where a lot of homeowners get caught up, is you can't do it the other way around. You can't say, okay, I live on a street and 3 homes have sold in the last year between $500,000, $500,000 and $1 million. You can't just ignore those 3 homes that sold on your street, if your home is comparable to those, and go 3 miles away to find this little cottage that, by the way, the person that bought it bulldozed it after they bought it, and they paid $270,000 for it. And everything else in the neighborhood is selling for $500,000 and up. That will put your entire argument in question when you meet with either ARC. Does everybody know what ARC is? Mm-hmm. Okay. ARC, or if you take it to her level, which is in SCAR, Small Claims Assessment Review. You need to keep it focused on the value, which I'm sure you did. Don't talk about how much in taxes that you pay. Okay? The assessor gets phone calls all day long from homeowners crying on the phone, but I can't afford $30,000 a year in property taxes. But your home is only assessed for $700,000, and you just purchased it for $1 million. Yes, but I can't afford to pay $30,000 a year in taxes. It's not part of the argument.
Is this the first year under this new ruling, whatever it is, that they are allowing you to expand? They accepted that?
There is no rule or law of what they need to accept or what they need to consider. Okay? Nassau County does give out guidelines that they like to ideally stay within. But again, look, if I have the only waterfront home in the neighborhood and there hasn't been any other waterfront homes that have sold in the last 5 years, I'm going to have to go into another town. maybe a different school district, to find a waterfront home, but you have to have good reason for it. So when you meet with the assessor, or you meet with ARC, or if you went to go to court, you have to say, hey, look, there are no homes that are comparable to mine. Here's a picture of my home, and here's a picture of the $3 million home that sold next door. Do you think, which one would you rather have? Right? So there are no laws that you have to stay within a certain distance. But again, a lot of homeowners get into the weeds with, it's just unreasonable. They find 3 homes that sold, they were the lowest homes that sold in the neighborhood, and they just ignored the 3 homes that were like theirs that sold on their street or sold around the corner. That doesn't work, and it's not going to get you anywhere.
How do we know, excuse me,
Yeah.
how what 3 or 4 homes we're comped against?
Actually says on the website.
You could use Nassau County website for that. Redfin is great as well. What I usually recommend to a homeowner that wants to try to do it on their own is call your local real estate agents. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to give you a value in your home, supply you with comps, and they'll do it for free.
No, but I didn't know it was on Nassau County, NY.gov.
There are sales on Nassau County.
They used to be.
They are still there.
They would show you the comps.
They don't show all the comparable sales.
Right.
They show comparable sales sometimes that they like because they sold higher. Okay?
Excuse me, did I understand you to say that you could go back a year or 2?
To find comparable sales, yes. You can't go back to grieve your taxes
No, no, no.
before, but
But you were never, at least ideally, as far as the county was concerned, they didn't let you go back more than a certain stretch of time. But
if you need to,
If you need to be.
okay? You can't, if there are 3 homes that sold in your neighborhood this year that are like yours.
No,
No, I know that's not the case, but I'm just saying maybe for somebody else that's sitting here that are like yours, you can't go back. You can't go back 5 years because this home only sold for $175,000. Yes.
There's a list, I believe, under every taxpayer's account called valid sales. I mean, this was under mine.
Mhm.
It lists 50 sales.
Mhm.
I'm not saying whether I agree with them or not,
Mhm.
but this is all under the computation. And these are some of the actual sales that they have used to come up with the value that they're telling me.
If you could find 50 homes that have sold that are comparable to your home that I could use for comps,
No.
yeah. But
I'm not saying.
No, I know what you're saying.
It's
I'm
not-
saying,
it's
but
not
that's-
perfect comps.
right.
Some of them actually are very close because I happen to live in a gated community, and probably 30% of them are from that area. I happen to know the houses. I know exactly what's there. So on. So I'm just saying, in terms of helping people. I mean, I don't know if people are aware of it.
With your thing, that didn't come with our letter.
No. I printed this out from the tax.
that's the prognosis system. So what's
Yes,
that?
yes,
Right. So
yes.
what that's showing is that's showing sales that the Zillow type software that thought that was comparable to your home. Now I do this all day long.
I would say similar, not necessarily comparable, similar.
What did you ask for? What do you ask for, please, in order to get that list?
No, that's if you go to my Nassau property
It's actually on there.
and you click on Prognos, I believe it's Prognos 1, it says on there,
Get the hunter out.
it'll show that.
Okay, so
But-
did you get a concept of what they thought they were using?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, but,
Okay. We'll probably
so
agree with you.
I've grieved,
Well, yes, in my case, yeah.
I've grieved more than 10,000 homes in Nassau County. And to find 50 comparable sales is impossible. It's impossible. If you could find truly comparable sales, similar style, within a half a mile, similar square footage. I mean, if you could find 10, you're doing great. 10 in the last year, you're doing awesome. To find 50 it's just not possible.
But
So,
they're not asking for 50.
no, they're not asking for 50, but my point is the inaccuracy of the market assessed value. And it's really not even, I used to call it the assessed value, it's really government imposed value that they put on your home. Okay, let's face it. Yes?
Yeah, going back, I might have used comparable sales. I mean, sales, not in the technical vernacular of comparable sales, but sales in your area, similar size homes, the size of the home is similar. Now, whether or not the characteristics are similar, that's a different story. Now, the question I have directly with respect to the system they've used for 2020, 2021, is in my situation, they go back 5 years. I mean, comparables, 5
Right.
years.
But they're telling
I did a lot of
they're telling this lovely woman that you can't go back further than, what did they tell you?
Well, usually a year.
Well, if
That's
you,
a
if you
recent
look at,
sale.
on internet, valuations, people, technical people who deal with this all the time, they say, okay, all right, if you're really pressed, because you cannot find everything, 2 years, okay, 2 years, okay? That's what they said. Here in mine, they went back to 2013.
Right. And another pet peeve of mine too
And there's
is,
plenty of other ones.
another pet peeve of mine is just when you talk about My Nassau Properties, you go to the website and it's still showing pictures of your home from 1999.
How can you tell? I can tell by my garbage cans that I have access.
Right. But again, you're paying, as Nassau County homeowners, you're paying a lot in taxes. Is it too much to expect the county to update your pictures
No.
maybe every 5 years?
No, because then your taxes
But-
would go up higher.
For them taking pictures.
That's right.
Satellite.
They should talk to Google.
What does your service do?
So what my service does is we reduce property taxes for homeowners that would like to use our service.
Agriculture. How is it different from what I have been doing all these years? And why is this new law
It's a few things.
different?
It's a few things. One, I have leverage in numbers. So when I'm talking to the Nassau County assessor, I'm not talking about one home. I'm talking about thousands of homes. Okay, and so they have to deal with me. Okay, and they also, I think, quite frankly, they pull the wool over a lot of homeowners' eyes because the homeowners don't do it every single day. And they know that they're not going to get away with that with me. The values, I make adjustments for square footages. I make adjustments for pools, for garages. If you're doing it on your own and you really think that there's a large discrepancy in what the county has of your value and what your home is really worth, the first step would be to a real estate agent. If I'm a homeowner, I'm doing it myself, and I'm thinking I'm going to be saving 5, 7, maybe more a year, $1,000 a year, call an appraiser. Probably for $400 investment, you're going to have something that really carries weight in court.
I just want to make
Yeah.
a comment on this question. News to me-
Michelle is with my firm, by the way.
So
Michelle
I've
LaGrassa.
worked with Adam for the last 9 years, and twice within the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I had agents introduce me to their sellers, and the sellers, they introduced me because they wanted to ask about the property taxes. 2 separate sellers had started a tax grievance process on their own as homeowners. They were in the process, and they received, they received an offer from the county of a reduction. Now you have to accept it. When the county gives you the offer of the reduction to your assessment, you have to accept what they're offering, and
Or
then it
not,
becomes official.
or not, you don't
Or
have to.
not. Well, these homeowners, now becoming sellers, were very excited that they felt that they had filed for the tax grievance on their own, and they won a reduction. But when we looked at it, the offer from the county was not anywhere near what we thought the homeowner should have deserved as far as a reduction. So had they not been in contact with us, guaranteed those homeowners would have accepted the offer from the county, felt happy that they reduced it on their own, they didn't have to pay a company to help them, but in the long run, they were not getting anywhere near the reduction that they should have gotten. So that's one of those scenarios where we, with the information that we have in our experience, would have rejected the offer from the county and then saw them in court to argue further. So
It's like any other, it's like any other case in court that it's based on the evidence. The better evidence you have, the stronger case you're going to have. Your evidence are your comps and the adjustments that you make for them. And many homeowners, they'll find a house that looks to them like it's very similar down the street that sold for $700,000, but guess what? That house down the street was 1,000 square feet larger. So you know what they just did? They just raised the value of their home they raised the value. Their argument was based on $100,000 because they used that sale. So they should have been $100,000 less than that sale, but they used that sale as evidence.